Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and it's been quite a while since I have done a video because it was baby girl Stella's first birthday and her mama's birthday as well. And so Franny came home from New York City and decided to stay the week. So it's very rare that we get to hang out for that long a time. She's only here maybe 4 or 5 weeks out of the year because she's a ballerina in New York City, and she's just too busy for us. But when she is home, I try to make it all about her. And so we did plenty of swimming and paddleboarding at the pond and getting into crazy Krzyzewski trouble. But it was a whole lot of fun, and I completely neglected my bonsais indoors and out. So I don't have an exact plan for today. I'd like to do some profile prunings on some forest plantings that I was taking a look at earlier, and just kind of make sure that I didn't neglect anything too bad to where I've got to do some serious recovery work. So, my assistant's ready to rock and roll with some of her new birthday toys. Say hi, Stella. Can you say hi? Well, no, because you're asking me to do that, Daddy. It's a Krzyzewski trait. So, that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, y'all. So first off, we've got this planting that I put together this year. These are all 3 to 4 years old, like most of my trees. I guess this would be the front. So to the left, these are river birch, and to the right, these are American yellowwood. And the yellowwood I'm leaving this year, letting them grow taller because I have never gotten them to flower, and apparently they look insane flowering. But definitely you could see here on the river birch, I'm assuming this is my fault from lack of watering. We've had a really hot, dry summer so far. So it did get a little high here too. So even though like the profile I want isn't looking too good. So what I'm gonna do is raise the canopy a little bit on both of them so you can see the trunks and that first divide line, and then take down the river birches to the height of the yellowwoods. And then hopefully we get these things to flower this year. That would be exciting. So I'm noticing on the river birches that there's plenty of little buds just waiting to pop out. So hopefully when I do this pruning, we'll get some more ramification going into next year. And that would be cool. So when I'm doing a heavy prune, I will take it back, you know, the standard rule of thumb, take it back with 2 buds left, leave a little room for dieback, and then it usually will divide or at least kick off new growth from there. But since it's early summer and I made a commitment to having my trees just look their absolute best this year, I'm just going to go across the top with that line. So I guess here would be the tallest yellowwoods. That's where I would want everything else to be at. Well, I guess this was the tallest yellowwood. So above that is the birch, and it definitely has some Japanese beetle damage to it, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for that. Actually, this top one here, this top yellowwood, it's just a longer, straighter piece, and it's reaching higher than everything else, so there's a lot of nice branches below it. So I'm just going to take that one down to the same height and just work my way around a little bit higher towards the middle, and then taper it down on the outsides. I absolutely love birches, love them. And I've noticed that here, I only have one clump, a full-size one on the property, but I get lots and lots of volunteers of the birches, which is so cool. Because until like it's time for Stella's homeschool on how to grow trees from seed, I don't intend to do any more trees from seed. I just want to have these trees developed, and you know, younger trees are so high maintenance with all the repotting and you're watering too much, you're watering too little, transfer them inside to outside, especially in this zone, which is 5B, which is quite chillier than even down the street in Fairfield County, where they are 2 zones warmer, and it's only about a 45-minute drive. So we're in like this cold basin, the ice box they call it up here. Yeah, definitely beetle damage. I'll show you a leaf with it. So you can see that. Got the little holes, and then it just gets worse from there. I don't really want to do all the taking off the dead leaves here, but unless they come right off, it's a good idea to prune them and not rip them, because there might be a little bud that's right in the inner node behind it that you could damage, and then it won't develop. I love the large forest plantings. I did a few of them this year, and I'm so happy with them. I just didn't want to be carrying a million pots, and I really think that a forest planting with young trees can look absolutely amazing, where, you know, a single tree takes a lot longer. It will look like a young tree for a while, but when you have about 11 of them grouped, which I think are in this planting, and I'm happy with it. Just working my way around. But if you have a bad back or anything, any health issues, I wouldn't recommend these bigger pots, because they are friggin' quite heavy. I've had a ton of spider webs on these bonsai too, so I don't think that they're hurting them. I think they're probably helping me out. But if you know that you probably should remove the spiders and move them to another location, just holler at me, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to let them do their thing, because their webs are insanely beautiful. If you can hear Stella, she got all of these little wooden animal toys, and she's practicing her baseball throws, chucking them around the deck. Oh gosh. Yeah, I think that's going to work out. I'm thinking these brown leaves, they'll just kind of, yeah, they're really just coming right off. They'll just fall off over the next week or so. We'll probably get some new growth ending July, going into August. I don't see any beetles on here, but we had a whole lot of rain yesterday, so maybe that helped me out. We're actually due for another heat wave this week, so I'm going to have to stay on top of this stuff, or I'm going to start losing trees. Okay. You're good, baby. I'll get you some water and we'll move on to the next tree. Stand by. All right, so moving right next to it, I have a planting of 3 that has one of these yellow woods, which I intended for that to be the tallest tree in the planting. I have a local red maple that actually jumped right into this pot, wasn't originally in there. And I have a crepe myrtle that looks terrible. I think the only healthy looking leaf is on the longest branch out at the end. And this tree has always been odd to me. I almost can't even call it a tree, because it just keeps coming in with, like it's a little bush with these long straggly branches. There's never been a main trunk. Let me get some of these dead previous year cuttings out of here. And hopefully just by doing this, there's some stored energy in that weird gnarly root ball. See, look, it's like, I don't even know. It's like a short, fat trunk about 1 inch above the soil line, and then it just starts kicking off a ton of branches. So what I've done in the past is I prune these shorter and let it fill in like it's a bush in the planting. But since, all right, I'm going to do it. Just go around. So I'm actually doing what I talked about earlier, taking it back to the first set of leaves. And hopefully it responds well, because it would totally be on me for neglect if it doesn't. Especially, you know, if you're new into bonsai or you're interested in doing mixed forest plantings, which are my favorite. You know, different things have different growth rates, different repotting rates, different pruning rates, and definitely different needs for water. And it's actually odd to me that this is the one that's struggling over the yellowwood or the maple, because the crepe myrtle, that was native to right by the sea in North Carolina where Franny was born. And, you know, it's a lot warmer there than it is here. So I would assume that these would be fine with warmth, but maybe it just dried out or got scorched. Now I'm looking at this maple. I want the maple to be split the distance between the bush height and the top of the yellowwood. So stepping back, there's this one long shoot going up the middle. So I think I'm going to take that back down to here. Cool. Let's raise the canopy a little bit. I just couldn't get a good camera angle not holding the tripod, so excuse the shaking. I literally vibrate as a human. Ooh, that's a cute low branch though. Are you too low? Can you back a little? You're all right, baby. Are you out of things to throw? No, there's a few blocks behind you. And it kind of looks a mess. I'm just gonna do it. Take it out. There's never a time that will be good because it's growing right into the yellowwood. Take out this one. And yeah, that one could be decent. This one could be decent, having their own space in the pot. And then if this one kicks off again, that'll be fine too. All right, cool. Okay. All right, we're looking at about 11 minutes on time. Okay, got these alcovas I just recently pruned, but they kicked off some extra growth that's making it not look tidy. Got a cherry tree. Nip it, nip it, nip it. It's only got 3 main branches on that trunk. This was given for Stella's birth, Japanese weeping cherry. And it took forever to come out of dormancy. I thought it died, but it did not. We'll end with my pomegranate that continues to form these flower balls, and then they just fall off. I haven't gotten one flower. The guy who gave it to me said that it's going to need a repot, and I think he is 1,000,000% correct that I should have done it this year, but I was afraid to. So, Stella, is that about it? Gonna wrap it up? So that's gonna do it for today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai, y'all. I'm playing catch up here, but hopefully I'll kick out some more videos, and I'll catch up on my broski's videos that I've missed. So, I'm Jared Paul, and from my family to yours, cheers.